When I was about 9 years of age, I used to bunk off school and go and help this local plumber. He had a motorbike, he had a car, he had holidays, he had a nice house, he had nice clothes, and he had bundles of money. If ever the seeds were sown, it was then. I mean, if he was a bank robber, I'd have been a bank robber. But fortunately, he was a plumber. As soon as I finished my apprenticeship, I became self-employed, I think the next week. Get this phone call one day from this estate agent to come and do a job for him, an emergency job. And I sort of said to him, look, I will be here within the hour. He was pretty impressed with that. He said, most people don't turn up on time. You used me a couple of more times. And then one day, I had a phone call that changed my life. It was the estate agent again. And he said, in my building in the basement, there's a room become available. Do you want to rent it off me? Everything was going through my mind. I'm thinking, can I afford it? You know, I'm thinking, why does a plumber want an office? Then he sort of went, OK, then I presume you don't want it. And I went, no, I do want it. And that was it. And it all started, like, clicking into place. I'm there and I go out working. I got known as the Pimlico plumber. All of a sudden, I'm getting busy, busy, busy. One of the customers said to me, you need more people. Put an advertisement out for plumbers. 99% of them, I won't put them in charge of a broom. Went through loads of different ones, found a couple of good ones, got them in the uniform, got them my way of thinking. Where we are today, we employ something like 220 people. We have 160 vans on the road. We turn over 20 mil. I always say to everybody, in my top 10 things I've ever done in my life, one is becoming a plumber. A second one is taking that phone call. Would have I been a successful plumber? Yes. Would have I had Pimlico plumbers? No. If there's an opportunity you see, take it on board and do something with it.
The story started off with working in the studio in a not very creative advertising agency, and then I got the job in the hottest agency in town. So me being a little bit nervous, I went and saw my clairvoyant. And it's like, if any major things were happening in my life, I went to see Madam Claire of Catford. So I go in there, Claire's got all the cards spread out, gets me to shuffle them, cut them. She starts turning them over, she said, right, OK, you've just met someone, yeah? She just got a new job. I see fame, I see fortune, I see you in front of the camera, I see you behind the camera, I see your name over the door. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, you're going to have your own business. So I thought, bloody hell, you know, we're going to have the curry afterwards. Fame, fortune in front of the camera, behind the camera, name over the door. Chris said she said the same thing to me. Yeah, we had a couple of beers and finished the curry off, and it was a bloody great night. Rolled our sleeves up and got on with the work. Pedalled quite hard for a couple of years. We find ourselves in another advertising agency together, start to do quite well. The phone rings. Pick up the phone. There's this bloke on the other end of the phone. I'd never heard of him. He was some big deal account man at an advertising agency. He was just splitting away, and he said, look, I'm starting a new advertising agency. Do you want to be one of the partners? And I didn't think twice about it. I just cut the receiver and I said to Chris, here, Chris, is that telephone call we've been expecting? Because Claire had predicted it. A few meetings later, we had our own agency. It was fun, and we did very, very well out of it. And the opportunities that were open to me after I did it, I was getting phone calls from all over then. It obviously all pivoted around that one conversation from this bloke I'd never heard of before. If I'd been in the loo when the phone was ringing, maybe he would have phoned someone else who had said, yeah, we'd love to be creative directors of that agency. It would have been a different history. I like to think I would have been still successful, but you never know, do you? You never know.
my first job was the flower shop. I was just 16 years old, and some mornings I would have the wonderful privilege of going to the market. So I would go and buy the flowers from Covent Garden. And I'm horribly dyslexic. I can't tell my left from my right. Still, I can't drive a car, I can't swim, I can't do all the normal things that most people can do. But I can take a colour or a moment in time and translate it back into fragrance. I feel like I'm conducting this orchestra and I smell the most wonderful smell of gardenia, and I can see holes in the fragrance the whole time, rather like music. And I suppose the flower shop gave me this whole creative library of all these unbelievable, earthy, fragrant floral smells. It felt like my career and my job chose me. I didn't choose it. I've always had a very, very entrepreneurial streak to me. From the ages of 8 and 9, I would go to the markets with my dad and sell his paintings. So there's always been that shopkeeper, merchant in me. I built my business from a couple of plastic jugs, tiny little kitchen, and just took that gift and that dream and built a global business. Once I'd sold my business, I was diagnosed with cancer, and so I spent a year fighting cancer. I had this dream. I knew I wanted to come back into retail. I knew I had unfinished business. I felt like this chapter of me was still unwritten. And I kept looking for the right space and looking for the right space. And I was at the point, really, of quitting. I was so disheartened by the whole thing. And I had a phone call one morning. A great girlfriend of mine said, do you want to meet for a cup of coffee and have a chat? And so I did. And I sort of poured my heart out to her, saying, really, all I wanted to do was be a shopkeeper again. And she said, I know a shop that's up for rent, and it's just around the corner. Do you want to go around and have a look? And as I walked in front of it, I realised it was the shop I'd had my first job in at 16. So I had literally returned back in life to where I'd first started. If I hadn't have taken that call and I hadn't have met her for a coffee, someone else would have taken that shop. It would have been gone and I would still be looking. That meeting that morning was a crossroads, I suppose. And would I have quit or would I have carried on? I don't know. Jo Loves is very much about that passion that I have for retailing and being an entrepreneur. Just standing in that doorway, I just knew I was home. I just had that feeling, this is where it'll start again. You will see your life repeat itself and it will start from this shop.